It's almost the final piece in my Clone Trooper build, and arguably the most important. I got my helmet, and I'm going to tell you all about it today on Darth Rage Reviews.
Evacuate? In our moment of triumph? I think you overestimate their chances.
Greetings, Force fans, and welcome to another episode of Darth Rage Reviews, your source for the Force. So, business out of the way, guys. If you haven't, please hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. Hit the notification bell because you want to be notified when I'm popping videos, and I'm putting stuff out all the time. I've got content launching daily here, guys, so you don't want to miss a thing. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the pleasure. Guys, this is something I have been waiting on forever. I've lamented on it in many videos. This is my Clone Trooper bucket. It's a Phase 2 realistic helmet. I got this from Chris the Prop Guy in Australia. And the reason it took so long is because it was coming from Australia, and they are in some kind of weird COVID time warp there where everything is shut down. And he had actually gotten this helmet done 2 months ago, and it took that long to get it on an airplane and fly it over here. So thankfully it arrived, and man, I am very pleased with this. So this is a resin cast, so it's all, one piece. This is not a 3D printed thing. This is, I like a cast helmet better than a 3D print simply because I think it's a little sturdier. And then on the finishing of it, there's a lot less to do on the finishing to smooth it out. I mean, there's literally like one line here on the side down the seam, and then a little bit of sanding, just to get the paint to catch. But that's really all you'll have to do to this, other than the cutting out of pieces. So it's much simpler. It is more expensive than a 3D printed helmet, but in my mind, it's worth it. So this again comes from a gentleman named Chris the Prop Guy. He is in Australia, and he does these. Put a link to his Etsy store in the description. You guys can check him out. He's got all kinds of Clone Trooper helmets, but this thing is very, very nice. And I've done nothing to this other than trim a little bit of the excess that was around the bottom of the edge here. So I do have a whole lot of finishing to do here. It also comes with these greebles. I don't know if it's greebles or greeblies, or I've always called them greebles, but recently saw a video where a guy was calling them greeblies, so maybe I was wrong, but it's one of those things of my whole life I was calling them greebles. So it comes with these pieces, the aerators, that will go into there and there, like so, and then this little nozzle piece, the respirator that sits right on the nose as well. So those pieces will be glued on later. And then comes with these decals, which are a lot easier than trying to stencil in for the stripes that will go on the sides. So there's stripes on each side, which is really a hard part typically to paint. So yeah, whole lot to work to do here. I've got to cut out the visor, cut out the nose pieces, sand down this line that's going down the center of it, give the whole thing a general sand, and then kind of decide on my paint job. But one of the things people really like to do when they first get a helmet is put it on. So I've got to show you guys this, just so you know what other work I have in front of me. So this is me trying to put the helmet on. My head isn't that big, but there is no way that my head is fitting through this hole. Now this will fit my daughter, and this will fit my wife, but my head will not go through here. So that's kind of the reason that I took everything off here, just to see if there's any way for me to get my head in there, and there's not going to be. It's not going to fit. My noggin is too big. So now I've got the task ahead of me where I've got to actually separate the faceplate. So I'll actually cut it right along the seam here, up to here, across the front, and then the same down on the other side. you remove the faceplate, and then you attach magnets to either end of it, and you've got basically you can pop the faceplate on to put the helmet on. And that's the route I'm going to have to do. I didn't want to have to do that. There's some people's heads are small enough to get into this. Mine, unfortunately, is not. So I'm going to have to take that step as well, which I really didn't want to. It's the one thing I'm really nervous about on this. I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up, cutting this, but has to be done. Has to be done. So that and some magnets, and I'll fix that up. So I've got all that finishing, and then it's a matter of deciding, what paint job I want to go with for this beauty. And I'm still leaning towards a 501st. I'm just not completely sure. I dig that blue, and the 501st were Vader's fist, so 501st. So I feel like I should go that route. I don't know. So what am I waiting on now? Because this is really the penultimate piece. Well, ultimately now all I'm waiting on are the extra armor pieces to replace the things that are not correct for 501st approval. So it's shoulders. I've got the 2 shoulder pieces, the bicep pieces, belt, cod, and butt, and then straps and the strapping system for it that are all coming. The manufacturer, which is 850 Armor Works, is just waiting. It's the same kind of issues that everybody's having right now. He's waiting on some rubber to produce the strap pieces. So once I get all that, then I can start cutting, testing, sanding, finishing, and see what I can't do to get this thing put together and get a working clone, because I've got all the pieces and parts now. So stay tuned, guys. There's a playlist with the clone build on it, and I'll keep that updated with everything that I do to this helmet. Looking forward to this one. We're going to take this from a blank canvas to something really, really cool and really, really in-universe, I feel like it's going to be. So that's what I got for you today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, I am Darth Rage. This is Darth Rage Reviews, your source for the Force.
I felt a great disturbance in the Force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced.